better be ready because this week's episode of The Blitz is one to remember. We have Turlock High hosting Downey High in a Central California Athletic League Championship matchup. These two teams have history between each other. The Bulldogs looking for revenge from a season ago when Downey handed them their first league loss since entering CCAL in 2018.
Now let's go out there and show all these people that drove here to see this game. Let's show them what a champion looks like. Let's go. Let's go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice.
Good clap. Good clap. League championship on the line. 4-seeded playoffs on the line. Let's get it right now, dogs. Turn it up. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Buckle up. It's time for the Friday night highlights. Opening drive for the Bulldogs starting from their 35, and quarterback Cole Gilbert is on the run. Great stiff arm, and that's a 15-yard gain, followed by a 6-yard pass to Drew Johnson. But the Knights defense start to clamp down on the Bulldogs. There's a 1-yard pickup from Cole Gilbert, and that's followed by a turnover on downs and a near interception from the Knights defense. This 16-play drive ends with no score. But the Bulldog defense also came to play, and they pitch a 4-and-out, giving Turlock another shot. Cole Gilbert finds Joshua Weatherby for a 15-yard pickup. And as we jump into the second quarter, we see Gilbert again showing off his rushing skills. This is a 22-yard gain, followed by an easy 4-yard touchdown run. Turlock up early and pumped. Downey's offense trying to find its rhythm, but it was a slow start for the Knights. Incomplete pass, and that's followed by a 3-yard run from Stoddard, trying to get to the first down marker, but he's pushed out of bounds just short. And so Turlock's back at it, and that's Logan Bankson with a 9-yard run, followed by Bertolotto, who executes a nice spin and picks up 10 yards. And that leads to a 4th and 6 situation where the quarterback calls his own number. That's an 8-yard pickup and a first down, and that leads to a touchdown with a pass to Peter Mello. A 29-yard touchdown to be exact, and Turlock's up 14-0, and they're feeling the energy. What will Downey do? Well, the Knights, they're going to respond with an 8-play drive. Here's Connor Stoddard connecting with Gavin Garcia for 17 yards. And that's followed by another quarterback run. A lot of these in the game. Stoddard picks up 12 yards and a first down at the 3, and that leads to Kai Ragland picking up a 1-yard touchdown for our halftime score, 14-7. Now, before we get into the second half, let's recognize our sponsor, Realtor Michael Rocha. Are you a buyer looking for your perfect home? Or are you a seller looking for top dollar for your home? No matter what your goals are, if you're looking to win in this real estate market, Michael Rocha is the realtor for you. So contact Michael Rocha today at 209-485-5228. You can also find him on Facebook and on Instagram. Second possession of the second half, and Downey's found its groove. Stoddard connects with Garcia for 11 yards, and that leads to a 3-yard touchdown run from Ragland, his second of the game, and just like that, it's tied 14-14. Turlock's looking to respond, and so Gilbert targets Johnson for a 13-yard pickup, but disaster strikes. Deontay Hurley forcing a fumble, and Downey has the ball back and looking for a momentum shift. Let's see what they do with the opportunity. Stoddard connecting with Garcia for a big gain, but it's called back. And on the very next play, another penalty is going to crush this drive. This time it's holding on the call, and that leads to a 48-yard field goal attempt that doesn't have the distance. Drew Johnson wants to return it, but it's a touchback instead, which takes us to the last play of the third quarter. A 39-yard pass to Johnson. He's down at the 30. And Gilbert looking for his favorite receiver once again. He's got the ball in his hands, but Joseph Ramirez prevents the touchdown. And that's followed by back-to-back penalties that kill this drive. Gilbert, he's looking for Weatherby, but there's holding on the play. And again, Gilbert finds his receiver, Peter Mello. A first down, but holding on the play once again. So Downey catches a break, and Stoddard picks up 8 yards as he drives to take the lead. That's followed by a 6-yard pass to Garcia, and that's immediately followed by a touchdown pass to none other than Garcia. That's a 17-yard touchdown, and Downey has taken its first lead of the game. How will Turlock respond? Well, they're going to respond by targeting their playmaker, JT Foreman III. That's a 10-yard pass for a first down, followed by another clutch play, a 9-yard pass for a first down. But Turlock is facing 4th and 10. What are they going to do? Oh my goodness. Cole Gilbert, shades of Eli Manning, evading the pressure and finding Foreman for a tremendous touchdown pass, 41 yards to be exact. And we got to take this one back because this is without a doubt the play of the game. Gilbert looks to be surrounded. He breaks a tackle and moves out of the pocket, and the left-handed quarterback repositions, recenters, refocuses, and finds JT Foreman in a clutch position to make a play, make a memory, make himself be known, and he does just that. And so all they need is a PAT to tie this game. But they're not gonna do that. They're gonna go for the win. Gilbert, he targets Mello, and it's good. Turlock, they have a 1-point lead with less than 2 minutes left in the game. They may have just secured a league title. But don't count Downey out. 2-minute drill from their 15-yard line. Stoddard connects with Hernandez. 15 yards and a first down. And on the very next play, the same connection. Hernandez picks up 19 yards. The clock is ticking, and Stoddard is gonna tuck it and run. He picks up 10 yards. Oh my goodness, penalty, tax on 15, and Downey is in the red zone. With only 44 seconds, Stoddard finds Garcia, and that sets up a 25-yard field goal attempt with 3.3 seconds on the clock. Rainveld puts it in as time expires, and Downey pulls off the second half comeback. Heartbreaking loss for the Bulldogs.
How we pulled it off was poised. That's what we focused on the whole week. We just knew we knew how to do our assignments and do our jobs, and we would win. We just watched all of their film, knew what they were going to do, and executed in practice, made sure every day was a great practice. That way we were prepared when we stepped on the field to go play Turlock. It's all due to our coaches. What we practice every week, we practice that exact drill. So when we had that opportunity, we were ready for it. We were prepared, knew how to use the timeouts, knew what plays were going to be open. They were playing back. We knew we could hit them underneath and take our shots when we needed to. And we just took what they give us, which is what we do in practice. And we were used to this. It didn't feel like anything abnormal. Shout out Kimani Ragland, the whole line, the whole team. It was a whole team effort. It wasn't one guy. We're high on emotion, but we still got to focus on each game and approach each team just like how we played this week. And if we do that, we'll be good. Love my team.
Poise is the perfect word to describe that final drive by Downey. They had 1:46 left, and they were able to drive the ball down and get the field goal. And of course, that defensive penalty did not help at all. But you got to give credit to the Knights. Back-to-back victories over the Bulldogs, and they are more than likely going to claim the CCAL championship for the 2022 season. And you got to give props to the quarterback Connor Stoddard. He went 24 of 34 for 253 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 70 yards on 11 carries for a grand total of 323 yards. We also had Kai Ragland with 14 carries, 33 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And of course, we have to give props to the receivers, Gavin Garcia and Gabe Hernandez. Garcia with 10 receptions, 117 yards, and 1 touchdown, while Hernandez pulled in 9 catches for 75 yards. As for Turlock, quarterback Cole Gilbert balled out, 20 of 29 with 232 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. He also had 20 carries for 94 yards for a grand total of 326 yards. And JT Foreman III, he had 23 carries for 93 yards, as well as 4 receptions for 66 yards for a grand total of 159 yards. And for the second week in a row, he was responsible for the play of the game. We also have to give big props to Andrew Johnson, who pulled in 6 receptions for 73 yards. With the win, Downey remains perfect, 7-0 overall, 2-0 in CCAL. They're currently tied in league with Gregory High, and next week they'll be taking on Enox High, who are coming off a big win over Pittman. As for Turlock, they currently sit second in league behind Downey and Gregory, and they'll be facing Modesto next week, who are experiencing a 5-game skid, and so that should be an easy win for the Bulldogs. And again, this was basically a CCAL championship matchup, but there's still more games to be played, so it's not official just yet. We'll have to keep our eyes on the remaining CCAL games, but we'll have to do that from afar, at least for next week, because next week we'll be covering a Trans Valley League championship matchup, and this time it's official. Hillmore High traveling to face Houston High, and this one should be contender for game of the season, right there with the one you just watched today. The Yellow Jackets are 4-3 overall and 3-0 in the TVL, while the Huskies are 7-1 overall and 4-0 in the TVL. Hillmore, fresh off a bye week after a thrilling 1-point win over rival Escalon High, a team that Houston beat in the league opener and left everyone in the TVL on notice, letting them know that the Huskies are for real. And so these two teams are currently tied for first in the league. And with only 2 more games left on the schedule, if Houston beats Hillmore, they have this one in the bag. We'll see how it all plays out. Houston hasn't beat Hillmore since the 2014 season. That's 8 seasons of defeat. Can Houston pull it off? Well, we're gonna be there to see if they can. You can catch all that action at turlockjournal.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter if you follow at Turlock Journal. So if you thought this game was high emotion, high intensity, high stakes, you do not want to miss next week's game. So you better tune in. So until that game, I'm Frankie Tovar. Thank you for watching the Blitz.